Hey everybody, welcome back. I have a gem for you guys today. I mean, the best tweak ever in the whole audio industry. I found one that I'm really excited about. And if you know me, I'm all about tweaks. Our customers are all about tweaking things and making things better and bringing things up to higher levels, especially when they're bang for the buck. You know, when it's something you can spend the least amount of money on and get the most amount of gain from. That's the stuff I'm always looking for. And I have found one that is the king of all upgrades and tweaks. And I've got to tell you about this. I mean, and you know me. We're all about, doing these upgrade kits for speakers and trying to spend a few $100 and get a speaker brought up to a higher level. We've got products that specialize in bang for the buck. All of our kits that we offer, all of our products, bang for the buck. Products that we offer, such as no res, where you can go in and line the cabinet with no res, and it will damp out all the cabinet resonances. So bass response becomes cleaner, tighter, vocals are cleaner. It's a great tweak. We sell thousands of sheets of that stuff, literally tons of no-res that we sell. Tube connectors, another huge tweak that we sell. We sell thousands of those things because they're an inexpensive way to take things to another level, and it brings clarity and detail across the board for not much money. When you go from those cheap, cheesy binding posts with ferrous material on it and steel nuts on the back and stuff like that, it's a big difference in performance. It's surprising how much difference that can make, and for not that much money. And then when you compare it to really high-end binding posts, there's still a performance difference there. We're still stepping things up, even over the best Cardist and WBTs, and the tube connectors are less money than those. Plus, you're getting the male ends that go on your cables. You get new cable ends and the tube connectors, and it's a heck of a bargain. At $59, again, cheaper than those high-end binding posts, easier to install, performance is better. We love this stuff. We love the tweaks. And fellas, I've got a dandy for you here. This all started when Ron Bernay received some of those little inexpensive amplifiers. And I got one too. The same company sent me one, and we hooked it up to the NX Streams, and I was not impressed. It did not sound very good. I'm not even going to mention the name of the company that made those lamps. But Ron got some of them as well, and he got some in monoblock version, which are actually creeping up there in price. And one of them died because he was leaving it to burn in overnight, and it roasted overnight. Well, the guys at this company, the guys at Sparkos, saw those videos and said, Ron, let us send you some of our little op amps that you can replace the op amps in those lamps. And I think you'll be real surprised at what those things do. And so they sent out, it came in this package, they sent some op amps out to Ron. Well, because the amp fried, Ron didn't try and stick those into the amps, but he had an idea. And he called me over and said, Danny, I need you to come over. I need you to come hear something. Which is always fun. When Ron tells me I got to hear something, that usually means something over there is working really well. He's got to share it with me. So I go over, and he's got some of the new prototype speakers that we've been developing, which are over the top. He's got all of our cables in the system. He's got our open baffle servo-controlled woofers in the system. He's got a DOD audio battery-powered preamp that's a tube preamp. He's got that in the system, and he's got a DA converter he got from our good friend Scott Clark that is a DOD audio DA converter. And what that was is just a DA converter that Gary Dodd produced that was using a Wolfson evaluation board, and it runs externally on a 12-volt battery, and he put his output stage in it. He built a completely different output stage for it with a really good op amp and good components, and it sounded a lot better than the Wolfson evaluation board. And Ron got the idea to whip that little op amp out and stick one of these Sparkos op amps in there, and it dropped right in. So I go over to listen, and he hasn't really told me anything. He's just got me listening. And I'm hearing things that sound better than I've ever heard them at Ron's house. I'm hearing layering within the soundstage, dynamics, detail levels, super separation between things. I mean, we heard some stuff with a choir in the background, and I've heard it many times, and I could hear the individual voices singing within the choir. It was crazy how good this was. And I said, all right, dude, what did you do? And he said, well, I got these little op amps from these guys. And he had swapped out the op amp. And I was blown away. And so I said, I got an idea. I want to come back over tomorrow. Let's bring my Dack over. And guys, my Dack is another something that Gary Dodd put together, but it was something that several companies used as a test bed for new technologies. And it's kind of a one-off Dack. It uses a Wolfson-based chip. It's on an Opus board, but it's got an Almanero I2S Direct input on it. It's got a huge battery bus on it, buffering the battery, which is an external 110 amp hour battery. And it's got Gary Dodd's output stage, which used a really high quality op amp. And I say high quality op amp, it was really high quality 10 or 11 years ago. It was kind of top of the line. And it's got naked Vichet resistors on it. I mean, it's nice. It's a great Dack, and it's pretty old now. And I still haven't heard any newer model Dack top it. If I did, I would buy it. And I've had Dacks in here from Denafrips. I've had hollow Dacks in, the hollow May Dack, which was good. I really like the hollow May Dack. But it didn't quite have the depth of soundstage that my little Dot Audio Dack has. So I've kept it all this time. So we took it over and we A-B'd it to this other Dot Audio Dack that he had, which was not as hot-rodded and souped up as what mine was. But it sounded better. And so I said, okay, let's whip my op amp out of there and let's put one of those op amps in there. And we did, and it was unbelievable. I was hearing music that I felt like I was hearing it better than I've ever heard it reproduced ever on any system. And there was just so much that opened up within the soundstage. So much depth and layering separation. The soundstage got bigger. Bass texture was cleaner. The texture in everything was better. It was unbelievable. And then I took the Dack home, put it back in our system, brought Hobbs over and said, Hobbs, come here, I want you to check this out. And within a single song, he looked at me and said something to the fact that it was immediately noticeable. And we listened for an hour or two of just, you name it, all the different music that we like and things that it's new music that we've just kind of got turned on to, a lot of Dominique music and a lot of old music. And both of us felt like we were hearing a presentation that was above and beyond anything we've ever heard. That little Dack, or that little op amp chip in the Dack made that much difference. And especially on a system that allowed those things to be heard. Like with these speakers are completely holographic. And so things like that are within the soundstage are just that much more exaggerated in separation and depth and things like that. And it was scary just how good it was. It was one of those situations where if someone would have walked in with a Dack that was what we're listening to right now, and I compared it to my Dack, I would say to them, how much is it going to cost? Because it's not leaving the system. I have to have it. If they would have said to me, that Dack is $5,000, I would have said, man, $5,000. Let me go get my checkbook, because it would have been worth it. If someone would have come in and said, let me swap the op amp in that thing and see what you think, and that was the result, I would have said, first of all, you're not getting your op amp back, and how much does it cost? And if they'd have said, that's $800, I would have said, okay, wait right here. I think I may have some cash here at the house. Let me get you your money before you change your mind. Now, the funny part is, when I was over at Ron's and I was hearing it in his Dack, and then we swapped it out in my Dack and listened. I said, Ron, what do those things cost? And he says to me, $79. I said, $79? You got to be kidding me, man. $79? Woo, man. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Just, oh my gosh, man. $79. So, guys, this is probably the cheapest, biggest bang for the buck that I've had come through here in years. So, for all of you guys out there, if you've got a device that's got an op amp in it of some kind, whether it's, especially if it's a DA converter or something, DA converter, preamp, whatever, doesn't matter. You get a hold of these guys. I'm going to have Ron put a link down at the bottom of the video here. You get a hold of these guys and find out what they've got that'll work in your piece of gear, and you get it, and you get it right now. Don't wait, don't hesitate. This is that good of a upgrade. Guys, get it while you can before you call weeks later and they say, we've sold everything we have, we're backed up, we can't get them out fast enough. No, call them now. It's that good. So guys, you will thank me later. I promise you will thank me later. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a fun one to make, and as you can tell, I'm pretty excited, and there's good reason for it. I appreciate you guys watching the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.